Good afternoon everybody, and welcome back to Thirsty Thursday. So this is a work from home Thirsty Thursday, where I'm still coming from the Stamps by Me YouTube channel, but I'm working from home at the moment due to the lockdown. I'm on the Diet Coke today, or Pepsi Max. Must have been all the talking yesterday on the Create and Craft show, because I am super thirsty today. So what I really wanted to do was, one, thank you all so much for tuning in yesterday for the Wireframes launch. Because they sold out so quickly, there was a demonstration that I had planned that I didn't get a chance to do, which is using some of your coloured and glittered embossing powders to emboss and heat set part of your die designs. So I thought I'd do that today with the Hope die, because I know there's some of that one left, and some of the lovely sentiments. There's a few of those as well, just in case you missed it or you missed out. But at least if you've already got them in the bag, or you could absolutely do this technique with other types of kind of detailed die as well. So the aim is, when I cut it out, I'm going to have a frame with gold metallic card. This part here, which I did show slightly on the show, but we can go through it slower, will be black for our sentiment to sit on. And then this part will be white and then embossed with a colour for the kind of flower area, and maybe a green over the leaf area. So out of one die, then you can get this really kind of textured look, but it's not going to be thick. It's only going to be, you know, you can use foam pads, but I'm just going to stick the card pieces together. So it should be 2 pieces of card thick maximum. So again, thank you so much. It was really good fun yesterday doing the double show with Dan. It's a long time for me to talk, and I was so shocked as well about how quickly those paints sold out, as well as the main dies. So thank you all so much. It's, I guess, a testament to how much you all enjoyed the metallic confetti paints as well. That, you know, you all enjoyed them, you've enjoyed the quality, you've enjoyed the creativity it's brought to you, and therefore you know, you want to take the next step with the next lot as well. The good news is that I do have another show next week with something new, and I'm not going to show you that right now, because it's just been quite a lot recently, and you know, I want you to get loads of ideas for what you've already got ordered now, or what you might be thinking about still. And so when they land on your doorstep, the wireframes, you've got some ideas. So what I'll probably do about the new stuff for next week, the show's definitely Thursday. I'm just waiting on confirmation of the times. What I'll probably do is do a Facebook Live, say, over the weekend, and then you've got Sunday's show, which I'll record for you today as well, and maybe we'll have a look at the new stuff then in Sunday's. It will go with this stuff perfectly, and it's really fun. It's very different. I don't think I've got any florally things in there. If you like animals, you'll definitely love it, but it's very different, but it still does go really well with other Thirsty Brush stuff. But anyway, let's get on with some crafting. So ahead of time, what I've done is I've cut out a black version of this die and a white, and I'm going to do a gold, and then I'm going to decide which bits I'm going to do in which areas. Let's do a gold. I've also got, in case I want to kind of chop into and build it up behind, I've got a couple that the flower only bits that I've cut out in vellum, and I think this is the piece I'm going to emboss, which I did in white. But let's cut out the gold one as well, because I really want this frame wiry bit, which is where the names come from, to be in gold. And this is going to be quite a big card for me. I'm going to do a 7 by 7 square card. But I know lots of you do the big square cards as well as the We looked at lots of 6x6s on the show yesterday, so I thought it would be good to do a large one too. And I think we'll use the fun. I think that's one of the only ones I haven't done on a demonstration yet. And this is a fun technique, so it kind of goes with that. It's got the little release tools there. Holes, sorry. So just poke that with your pokey tool, and then the rest should pretty much fall out. There we go. Okay, so I'll put these ones aside for now. I want to do the embossing part first, and then we can build everything up together. Oh, the dog's come to say hello. Do you want to come and say hi? No, it's just stood next to me. I guess he thinks, oh, let's see if you can go under the camera. Hello. She's just come to give me a kiss. He probably thinks I'm talking to him and I'm talking to the computer, and he must think I'm absolutely bonkers. So yeah, let's do the embossing part. So I need a sentiment as well, which I may as well emboss while I'm here. So I just got a bit of white card here for the sentiment. I haven't used this piece of card for anything else, so we may as well do it up in a corner. And then I can use the rest of that piece for something else. I need a piece of paper to catch the powder. Just pop that aside. So it's really important to use your anti-static bag when embossing, particularly with sentiments. You can get away with it sometimes with a large image if it's very detailed, because you might not notice if a little bit goes outside of the design. But with something so crisp and bold, you want that powder exactly where you want it only. In saying that, if you're going to die cut round it, it's not so important. But if you just wanted to, of course, you've got the flexibility of using the stamps on their own as well, haven't they? So personally, I would use loads of anti-static powder, and then you haven't got to worry. So I haven't decided what colours to use yet in embossing. So let's have a look. What I might do before I actually put any colour on that sentiment is decide as well what colours I'm going to use for the flower to make sure it tones. So I've got courtyard green there for the leaves. I might have a bit of the forest green for the leaves as well. And then, oops, let's go blue for the flower for a change. Let's go seafoam. Yep, let's try that. So to go with that, yeah, let's use the darker green, the forest green, I think. And again, on Thursday, I know the majority of our embossing powders had sold out through Create and Craft, and loads of you were asking when those are coming back too. So I'm doing my best to get the paints, the confetti paints, the double ups, and all the embossing powders back on. I've just got to check how much we've got of each, but fingers crossed we should get them all the colours back on the show for you for Thursday. So on the live chat the other day, I don't know whether you hear, there was a lady that was saying that she was still getting some of the glitter brush off. Now the key to this is that it is non-shed embossing powder with the glitter. The key is to heat set it just for that few seconds longer than you would do a normal one. You know, like the metallics and the smooth ones, as soon as you see it change, you tend to move on to the next bit and then that's done. Personally, I do that with the glitters and then I just run my heat tool back over just really slowly for that one final time, because what's happening with these powders is you've still got that kind of smooth one in there with all the glitter as well, and you need that smooth powder to really set and hold all that glitter in. So I went over an extra couple of seconds with that one and then let it cool, and now I've got absolutely zero shed look on that glitter at all. So that's the key, just a couple of seconds longer than your smooth ones. Once you get into the habit of it, you'll do it without even thinking. Should we cut that one out while I'm there? Where did I put the little sentiment die? There we go. And the plates. A little bit of tape just for that. It's so easy to line up because you've only got, you can see the word exactly around it, so really quick and easy to line up the sentiments. Don't think we've got any more die cut enough way for me to put on there. No, I think that's it. So next thing to do is to emboss our flower. So what I'm going to do this time, and you might have seen me do this with other things, I've done it with sentiments, is that I've got my embossing pad, ink pad, and I'm literally just pressing it in with my finger. So I'm getting all of the bits of the flower really nice and sticky for all that powder to be able to stick to it. Then when I turn it back over and get my piece of paper again to catch the colour, what did we decide? The blue. Might want to give your hand a wipe, it gets a bit sticky after. So I'm really not going to be too precious about this. Obviously I want the flower to be blue, so I'm going to pour it over that bit, but if it gets, some of that blue ends up getting on the leaves a little bit, I'm not going to worry too much. Just going to kind of pour it over roughly where I want to. If you've missed any bits, you can always go back over them anyway. Even if after you've heat set, you can always heat set again. And I'm going to heat set that bit first. I could put the green on now as well, but so I've got something to hold on to, I'm going to heat set that bit first out of the way. And then I can hold on to that piece once I know it's completely set to put the powder on the leaves. I'm going to keep it from stopping blowing around. Put my paper through. So like I just said, all the powder has changed now in front of me. I'm just going back over. It's really worth just that final couple of seconds. Don't need too much, you don't need to smell burning or anything like that. And then just thought that doing it that way might have dried that ink on the leaves. I think last time I did this, I did the leaves at the same time, but it's worth playing around and seeing which way is best. So I've got 2 greens. So the main one I want to use is the Courtyard. And this is absolutely the perfect like Christmas green as well. Look, it's really, really pretty. And I'm purposely leaving a few little gaps there because I want to go over with the other green as well to get a bit of colour mix and texture. But just make sure when you're using 2 colours on an area that you pop that colour back in the pot first before you get the other one out. Otherwise, on your piece of paper, you're going to end up with a mix. So just make sure I haven't got any white bits. And we've got a lovely mix of greens then on the leaves ready to heat set. That back in the pot. And let's get the heat tool back out. So this should be beautiful and sparkly now. There we go. So no shed, just that really good heat setting and loads of shine. So let's have a go now at building everything up with the frames that we've got here. Might not need everything, but I like to have plenty of stuff prepared, and then if there's any bits I haven't used on this card, I'm sure I'll use them on another one anyway. So I've got a 7x7 card blank. The reason I'm having to keep sticking my pokey tool in there is that the dog ate the lid. So this one I've got lying around and I don't want to waste it. I still want to use it up, so obviously it just dries out then. Let's put a pin or something in it. So I've got a piece of black card just as a matten layer and a slightly smaller white piece. We're going to have loads of white space on this card, but I want to show you that even on the larger ones, just because you've got a larger card does not mean you have to absolutely fill it with everything else. So let's get the frame done first and then we can decide how much of the other stuff. So let's get the old scissors back out. So what I want to do is on top of this gold bit here, I want to have the black part from that. So you probably saw me do this on the show yesterday if you watched. So I'm cutting around the circle. If you're careful and you can cut around that, you can absolutely use that frame bit again then. I'm not going to be super careful just because of time, but if you go round that flower really well. And if you cut round that bit as well, then you can use that bit on another card. So I just want that bit for now. And I know that's going to perfectly fit because it's got all the shaping there ready for me. Now that's going to perfectly fit in there and give me a black centre to the frame. I don't think I need the white one because I've got my coloured one now. So that's going to go on top. I'm just using some glue on my board. Oops, a bit too much there. Let it dry clear. Wrong way. And that will just sit in place on top of the gold. Even if it's not perfectly in place, what's really nice is if it doesn't sit, if it sits like half a mil or a mil out, you almost get like a gold little shadow there as well. So it's up to you whether you want to have it exact or slightly off there. Just a bit of glue. Okay, so that's our frame now coloured and doesn't that look completely different now to if we'd have just cut that out in white. You've got texture there, you've got glitter, you've got metallic, and you've got a bit of drama with the black. So what I want to do is have the sentiment in the centre, and that makes that pop then even more because you've got that 1 mil border round lovely green, and the green ties in with the leaves on the flower. But just because I've got lots of white space here, I didn't want to leave it completely plain, but I didn't want to detract either by adding loads more colour. So that's where I've brought in these extra bits, which I fancy kind of sitting some behind just for a bit of extra texture. So I might even chop into this a little bit as well. Get some extra leaves maybe. And yeah, I'll leave one hole and I'm going to chop one in half, and I'm just going to put, I think I'm going to have one kind of slightly underneath. Lift that one up with a foam pad a little bit. I'm going to grab a foam pad. And then I'm still going to be able to tuck things in and around because all I've done is popped it behind there. So this one, yeah, let's just put some glue behind the centre and we'll hide that piece of glue. Then I quite like the thought of the rest of it quite loose. That started to add a little bit of texture without interrupting with the colour. Same here, you've got more poking out. And I'm going to do, that's the white. Let's have it here. And there we are. So this is why then the rest of this white space works, because it's not completely plain. Nothing about that background vellum and white is fighting against what the main focus is, but it's also not completely plain and doesn't look unfinished. So I hope that makes sense and give you some ideas about, not just with these frames, but any kind of like die cut or stamped image you might have where you think, I want white space, but it just feels too unfinished for me. Try tucking some vellum or white pieces that tone in with the design along with it, and see how you feel about the white space. Then you might feel that that's enough. Great. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I will see you. So this is the Thursday show, isn't it? I will be back with you again for another show on Sunday. And yeah, let's have a look then at the new stuff, the really fun stuff that's coming next week on the 19th of November. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and the start of your weekend, and I will see you Sunday. Take care.